Shalom. Soy el oficial de 1000, Cámara de Sur Califas, invitando a todos los llamados negros hispanos y indios nativos a la parrillada anual de la costa oeste. Tenemos el itinerario para todos los eventos, comenzando con el jueves, octubre 2, clase de desgloso de las escrituras con General Mahaime. Continuamos el viernes, octubre 3, la lectura de Comandante General Yahana, titulada "Han destruido los videojuegos y pornografía tu matrimonio". La misma noche presentamos la fiesta de Totalmente en Negro. El sábado, octubre 4, es la parrillada anual. Terminamos con la Santa Convocación, octubre 5, conmemoración del son de trompetas. Acompáñenos, no se lo pierdan. Shalom, soy el oficial de 1000, Cámara de Sur Califas.
What's going on with y'all, man? This is Priest and Officer of 1000, Oscar War of the ISUPK, inviting all so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Indians to the ISUPK West Coast Cookout. It's going to be on and cracking, man, from October 2nd to October 5th. We're going to have the cookout. We're going to have scripture breakdown class. We're going to have the all-black party. And we're going to have a lecture from Commanding General Yohana himself. Make sure y'all come through and don't miss out on these amazing events. Shalom. What's going on with y'all, man? This is Priest and Officer of 1000, Oscar War of the ISUPK.
This guy's gonna get fucked with some guy.
Now imagine that. Look at the side that claims, right, that they're all civilized and down to earth, right, that they're calm and non-violent, actually being violent. If y'all recall, there were posts being spread online talking about how in response to Charlie Kirk's passing, they prayed and held silent vigils. Meanwhile, the passing of George Floyd, it was violence and rioting and this and that. Now look at them being violent at a Charlie Kirk vigil. Imagine that. Once again, this comes to show you the hypocrisy, Raza. What do y'all have to say about this? Let me know what y'all think. Orale.
When you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump, that's all they do. If you go back, I guess they haven't had a conservative on in years or something. Somebody said they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr. They're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr. Maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr. When you have a network and you have evening shows.
Now imagine that. Now we're looking at the side that was against council culture, the side that was about, being against, what would they say? That the arguments that they would call the left snowflakes and that they couldn't handle the truth. Now look at them doing exactly what they preached against. Look at the right practicing quote unquote cancel culture. And this shows you the hypocrisy, Raza. Well, what do y'all have to say about this? Let me know what y'all think. Orale.
Shalom Israel, yo soy el oficial y somos la ISUPK, la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal bajo el comandante General Yahana, con un anuncio importante especialmente para todos mis latinos, mis caribeños y todos mis centroamericanos, correcto. Nosotros en los finales de septiembre vamos a estar en la República Dominicana, la tierra sagrada, correcto, y vamos a empezar en lo que viene siendo la Romana y después vamos a estar en Santo Domingo, después en Santiago y después en Dayabón, correcto, en la frontera. Y lo que vamos a hacer va a ser un recaudador de comida, vamos a estar regalando ropa, niños, niñas, hombres, mujeres, pasando folletos, interactuando con la comunidad. Va a ser algo muy fuerte, el Señor se va a mover y vamos a dejar saber a la tribu de Simeón, que viene siendo los dominicanos, son la gente escogida de Dios, correcto. Va a pasar grandes cosas ahí. Si tienen una pregunta, mándanos un mensaje, y si gusta soportar la causa, vamos a dejar el cash app, y con eso, shalom.
Maldito sea todos estos perros gringos, todos, y que las maldiciones de Dios lleguen hacia ellos.
Cuando me activo saco el cuerno de chivo. Todo lo que digo yo lo he vivido, haciendo oraciones entre mis suspiros. Muerte por un gringo es negativo y sigo. Estamos en guerra con estos gabachos, hijos de perra, y espera. Ellos son de Inglaterra, en barcos llegaron a nuestra tierra, se aferran que somos ilegales, que toda nuestra raza son criminales, corrales. Es donde nos encierran, sin causa, motivo, nos encierran, quisieran acabar con nuestra gente, pero aquí estamos, hasta el presente, y muerte es lo que está presente, unida nuestra gente, la raza está más fuerte, la escuela israelita, donde no corremos con edomitas, todo de la Biblia ellos predican, y a toda nuestra gente se le avisa.
Lo que esperan, guerra mundial tercera, que todos los gringos se caigan y mueran. Cobro condenas y Yashacar lo ordena. Con líricas mortales prosigue el asalto. No somos cobardes ni menos cristianos. Crúcense la línea y en corto los castro. Malditos gabachos cazan nuestros pasos. Así es, raza, si no los conoce les presento a Satanás, porque todos los putos son de la Ku Klux Klan. Así es, mi gente, póngase trucha. No me ande ellos iconeando quiénes somos nosotros para andar hincando a toda la bola de pendejos.
Negros e indios nativos somos los verdaderos israelitas. ¿Esto dónde lo dice? Según esto dice en la Biblia.
So that Puerto Ricans love America, but that ain't reality. Police attack was planned beforehand. Only white cops were assigned.
Then our only recourse is to defend ourselves.
We tried to move people onto the sidewalk, but the police were all out for blood.
Another series of protests was staged by thousands of students, parents, and the Brown Berets. In June 1968, the group that had become known as the East LA 13 was released on bail.
Demonstrate to our people and we deserve better and that we could, get better.
I don't think there's ever been a time when we need more of the spirit of the young lords than today.
I guess we had no fear. We just did what we thought at the time was the right thing to do.
National captain of the Black Panther Party. They are making it their business to process arresting me and my wife, to a process of arresting numerous Panthers on the block.
Police just went in and started beating them viciously. It was ugly. They were just yelling at us, you dirty spicks, dirty Mexicans, who do you think you are?
Orale. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Adawan?
Hey, Shlomo, low Christ.
Hey, Shalom, sir. Yabashir Bakata. I just saw Yashikar. Man, wonder if he dropped out. No sweat, now we right here, man. Whenever you want to join us, if you're watching Yashikar, it's like just for just how to get the intros in right. But what's going down, sir? Ya sabes.
Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Shabakata. You know what I'm saying? Convenient truth. Already know we about to get it in. There's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let Malakma break it down. What's going on, Malakma?
Con, sir. So what's going down, Rasa? You already know. As Absur Lahab just introduced, you're tuned into the Inconvenient Truth. This is another night, and tonight's episode is titled. Well, it's a question that's presented. The question is, does America have a violence problem? And so, so I figured I titled it that because of everything going on with, I don't know if you saw the news what just happened in the state of New Hampshire.
Okay, what's going on in New Hampshire?
Just had a mass shooting in New Hampshire.
Eesh.
I believe one person got unalived. Of course, the day Charlie Kirk got unalived, there was a mass shooting then, that wasn't talked about because of that incident. What was it? The ABC news station yesterday got shot at. I believe right out. Yeah, kind of. There's some stories that I got lined up that we can go over. And then my question goes to everyone listening, tuning in, right? Do y'all believe that America has a violence problem? That'll be my question to all y'all out there watching. Does America have a violence problem? Because as you see what's going on, is violence everywhere, man. The side that claims to be peaceful, the side that claims to be, what is it? They claim to be down to earth, sir, that they, they can handle their thick skin and can take jokes, right? What they call the left, the snowflakes, that they can't handle, the truth, that they're the left is the radical left. But you also got the radical right. From what I'm seeing, the right is also violent.
Hey,
so go ahead, sir.
They both white. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Both you got the left Caucasians and the right Caucasians. You know, either ways, they're white. You know what I'm saying? And white people are violent by nature. You know what I'm saying? There's that one scripture where it says that they're estranged from the womb.
Right.
From the womb, they come out weird. You know what I'm saying? That's your left right there. Those your left. Isn't the left? Aren't they weird? Aren't they down with LGBTQ and men? They want men to dress like women and women to dress like men. You know what I'm saying? They want to make public bathrooms for they want to mix the men and women restrooms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? LGBTQ nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And they're violent too. Violent as young kids, as young men. They become violent. And that's that one kid, what's his name? Charlie Kirk, the one cat that unalived Charlie Kirk.
Right.
20 years old?
20-something years old, right? He's a young kid.
That's a kid right there. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? Before that actually happened. What was he like before that actually happened? You know what I'm saying? That little kid probably playing Call of Duty. We all play Call of Duty before. You know what I'm saying? We played that Call of Duty, GTA. To us, it was just video games.
Right.
But that cat, he played that game and said, you know what? I'm actually
going to do that.
Right. and actually did it. And there's thousands of, cases that are like that. Where you got some white man going to a movie theater, going to a high school, public school, mall, Walgreens. Oh, no, my bad. Walmart. And just light up everybody. Light up. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Maslaki.
Now I'll say, real quick. So we had someone in the comments put, right? This is the user by the name of Sun. He said the human race is violent, bros. Sun, right? Because that's your username. I understand what you're saying, right? Oh, no, we got Yashikar right here. Let me add this, brother. I understand what you're saying, bro. But why is it all of a sudden when we come to pinpointing a group with violence, now all of a sudden it's the human race? Notice, it's never the human race when it comes to crime. It's never the human race when it comes to immigration. It's never the human race when it comes to welfare fraud and the abuse of the system, right? There, it's classified by race, but all of a sudden, when it comes to violence and issues in America that pinpoint a certain race of people, which I'm gonna say right, which is the so-called white man. Now all of a sudden, it's the human race. Now all of a sudden, it's everybody. All of a sudden, it's what do you say? There's no color. It's the race card. Why is it, son? I got a question. Why is it all of a sudden when it comes to that, when it comes to pointing out what so-called white people do, it has to be the human race? Why can't this logic, right? This ideology be applied to everything? Why do you have a black on black crime if it's all the human race? You understand? Why does black on black crime why does the term black on black crime exist if you believe it's all the human race? Shouldn't it just be crime? If you want to get technical about it. But that was just my take. Just wanted to address that comment because this person said the human race is violent.
The white man got a history of violence, though.
Right,
know what I'm saying? Like, the put nations in captivity, in slavery.
Right.
And the white man go invade countries. Countries, take over countries, take their resources, and make themselves, great.
Right.
And so America has a history of doing it. So, like, is every race violent? We have done violence, but what the white man has done is more than just violence. White man done stole, killed. I can say kill. I can say these things, right?
I think you can. Unalive. We could just
unalive millions of people. We're not talking about your local gangbangers down the street who got one, 2, 3 bodies, 5 bodies as most. But the Caucasian race, man, they take millions of bodies, millions of people, put them in slavery. You know what I'm saying? Take your identity.
Right.
So now you can't, don't try to put us in the same bucket as them.
Right.
Because there's no comparison. There's no comparison when it comes to what they have done. And you're talking about history, meaning they still do it today. They do it today, and they've been doing it since, man, goddamn, who knows how long. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Malak, man, where we at?
Khan. So, Son replied, said, it's been the human race, flip the script and point to the nations in the Eastern Hemisphere. They have been violent there as well for centuries. He says, I do agree with what you're saying, though. There is not a comparison. All right, son. I understand. But that's one thing that we want to pinpoint, because the reason why we want to point this out tonight, or I'm pointing this out tonight, is because the whole time back on the topic of Charlie Kirk, right, and everything he was saying, he was always pushing a narrative that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are a violent people, and that white people, right, are nice and peaceful people. That one, what was that one white woman's name? The one that got busted, got controversy for saying nigga, saying broke ass niggas, right? She came out and did a whole thing where she was justifying what the white man did to the indigenous people, right? And then talking about how civilized white people are, and how friendly and kind, right? You know which one? You know which one I'm talking about, sir?
Yeah, I know what video you're talking about. Salaki. I know what you're talking about.
Khan, right? So it's ironic that the race that has how do I say it, pillaged, unalived, has stolen land, and as they're demonstrating today, are some of the most violent people, claim that they're not violent, claim that they're the most peaceful, down to earth people, that they're civilized and calm. They'll talk about you go to a white neighborhood and you don't have to worry about somebody robbing you.
And
go ahead, sir.
Quick, and the thing is that the way he's speaking, the way he talks, a lot of people believe it. Like,
right.
When he's saying like they're the more civilized and we call himself a conservative,
Right.
right? Are saying like the crime in the black community is bad, the crime in the Hispanic community is bad. People actually believe that. They start thinking like, God damn, he's right.
Right.
You know, but like he ain't pointing out nothing that they do.
Right.
You know, they were talking about mass shootings, and
Right.
what he tried to. Remember he was trying to
right.
mass shootings with gang violence.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Right. Right.
But let's keep it real. Like, how many mass shootings have you seen? Have you heard of? You know, I've heard of more than a couple. You know, like the one that always comes to mind is the guy from the one that dressed up as the Joker and went into a theater and unalived everybody inside that theater.
Right.
You know, and
I
the way
forgot that devil's name. Right.
The way he got smoke bombs, threw it in the theater.
Good night.
You know, dressed up as the Joker, and then started unaliving everybody.
Right.
Sandy Hook. I don't know if y'all remember Sandy Hook.
No, I remember Sandy Hook. Right, concert.
You got the white boy that went into the Walmart looking for Hispanics and unalived a lot of Hispanics in Walmart. You know, so like, why weren't things brought up? And like I said, he know about these things. He just trying to make it seem like we're the criminals and we're the ones that are violent. You know, and of course, if you're Latino and you're not up on game, you're gonna believe this cat. But you know, come on, you gotta understand that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
You know, and he's speaking. You know, he's speaking in a certain way to make you think like, damn, like, you know, am I a criminal? Are my people criminals?
Right,
like, bro. What your people? What have your people done? But Sluggy, go ahead, Malama.
No, that's heavy you say that, sir, because like, why is it that you know, like, and I notice this, right? Whenever the finger gets pointed back at the oppressor, right, at so-called white people, all of a sudden it's racism. All of a sudden it's you know, how do you say it? Now we're preaching hate. When y'all been right, they start putting the victim mentality, right? Like, oh, you're just saying that about me because I'm white. When y'all have been doing that, as a matter of fact, sir, time permit, right? There's that video that rap music video that came out just a couple days ago with that white rapper. Which I mean, time permit, we can play the video briefly and go over it to show, you know what I mean? Like, to think in this day and age, you got white rappers talking about lynching somebody. You know what I mean? And you gonna tell me you're not a violent people? You know, you had the comparisons, you know, talking about, oh, when we held our vigil, when Charlie Kirk passed away, we just did silent prayer and just did a silent vigil. Meanwhile, when George Floyd passed away, y'all burnt down cities and rioted. Well, it just so happens that y'all were violently attacking people who were saying, you know, we're disrespecting Charlie Kirk. We're saying things y'all didn't agree with. So just maybe, or I shouldn't even say maybe, but it just comes to show that y'all are not the peaceful people that y'all portray yourselves to be. Y'all are, you know, y'all on the right, you know, claim to be law-abiding citizens, claim to be, you know, y'all do it, y'all protest the right way. Was January 6th protesting the right way? Was you know, y'all talk about y'all respect the law and law enforcement. Is that why y'all harmed law enforcement on that day? Is that why the other day, I don't know if that guy was a far right member or you know, was you know, a conservative or on the right, but there was how many police officers got unalived the other day because they were trying to serve a search warrant and they got into a whole shootout, sir, right? I don't know if you recall that story.
Lie.
That happened.
Story, you know, go ahead and bring it up.
He said, okay, son said 3 officers got killed. You know what I mean? So 3 police officers got unalived. So I mean that's letting you know some. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
You know what? And else later on, I want to talk about Fluffy.
Right,
Iglesias, then Ryan Garcia, the boxer.
Good night. What did he do?
The same thing that Fluffy's on, which is like, they want to, say they feel bad for Charlie Kirk, and what even though he said things that were controversial, you shouldn't be making fun of nobody's death.
Imagine that.
So, like, your opinion, that's fine. That's true. We ain't gonna make fun of nobody for passing away.
Right.
That's not the way we get down. But at the same time, though, like, why is it all of a sudden this is the time you choose to speak up? Like, this has been going, like, what's been going on with the Latinos has been going on for the past 7 months? 7 months, 6 months, whatever, and these cats have not said anything. A comment or two, but they're really silent. But now all of a sudden, Charlie Kirk is unalived, and now they want to say something. Like, come on, man. Like, you gonna say something for a white supremacist? You feel bad for the white supremacists, but what about your people? Why are you so silent when it comes to your own?
Right.
But the man that's speaking against your people, now you want to shed tears. Now you want to cry. Now you want to say, hey, let's not say that. These cats never said anything when Charlie Kirk was talking against Hispanics and immigrants. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's go. Let's stay to what you were saying.
It's
like you got another story or something?
So I have the first story that I just brought up. Because this has just happened and this is latest breaking news. We're gonna go over this, and then if anyone's we'll go over some things. All right, let me show you. All right, here it goes. This just happened, probably a few hours, not too long ago.
And Jack, thank you for being on the phone with us. I know that this went from having maybe a couple of cocktails on the patio with your friends and your buddies after a round of golf today, and you mentioned that you heard shots fired. Can you tell us, was it several rounds of shots? Was it a couple of pops? What did you hear exactly?
It sounded like about 6 or 7 shots is what I heard, and it was just so much to process all at one moment in time, and I just didn't know what to do except for run.
And Jack, too, give us sort of the lay of the land of Sky Meadow, because you can have a golf round with your pals out there, but there might also be a wedding going on, and then there might be another room where there are just folks coming out for dinner. So what does it look like on the inside? How many different rooms are there on the inside? And can you tell us in what proximity did you hear those shots fired? Was it in a ballroom of sorts, or a place where sort of a gathering might be going on?
Yeah, so there's a couple rooms upstairs, the restaurant, and then the ballroom, which typically has the weddings and celebrations. And I was just on the 18th green. It looked like everybody was getting ready to celebrate the wedding, and it sounded like it was happening from the restaurant because it sounded so close, and it was just insane.
And Jack, I can imagine it was chaotic. It was, as you mentioned, hard to process everything all at once. Walk us through how you eventually got to a safe place and ended up being okay.
Yeah, so I had rented from where I was to T-Box, just a spot that I thought would be.
Go ahead, sir.
I think on my end, it sounds like it's kind of staticky. I don't hear you clear, or the video.
How about now? How do I sound?
I can hear you now.
Okay, All right, were you able to hear the video?
Not really. But go ahead, let it play, and then just break it down.
Safe. And I heard my friend yelling my name, and so I gave him a call. It didn't go through. I called him again, and he said, "Meet me at the car park. It's not safe to be here." And so I sprinted down there, and I'm just so lucky that he was down there, able to pick me up, and we just drove away safely. And I'm just lucky to be where I am right now.
Wow. It's shocking, Jack. I know it's so difficult, but it's important to give us your perspective. It helps us understand.
As you see, right, it says sources tell News 9 one person is unalived or one person is dead after shooting at the Nashua Country Club. I'm also put an article right here to read real quick, because that's more of a person giving a first-hand account. It says 1 dead, 4 wounded after shooting in New York City. Good night. So also some in New York City. 5 injured in shooting outside downtown Cleveland bar following suspected altercation, police say. The order is implemented. Okay, so this is just this video right here. Let me see. Of course, we gotta have
this has to do with the Antifa?
Not too sure. I think that was just some bunch of headlines.
Oh, okay.
Dang, man, you just gotta start.
Is the video making the stream go slower?
Nah, the video is just it's just this is like a first eyewitness account. You know, when they talk about what's happening. And I'm trying to get to the video with the person.
Let's see who's in the comments. Let me see. Comments, chat.
Also, if anyone has, like any more info on what happened in New Hampshire, please drop it in the comments. Give us what you let us know what you think of the situation. Let us know what what you have heard so far about this incident, because I know this had just happened. But as you see, that was a person giving the first-hand account. There was a press conference they did as well, but I'm just judging by the fact that it happened at a golf course. I mean, what kind of people go golfing? I don't want.
Right. You're talking about white folks.
Right. That's a given, right? So obviously it's Caucasians that go golfing. Also, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. No, also, it's Republicans, that type of group, that's more of their thing, right? This is like rich CEOs and oppressed and conservative white men that go golfing, that go to the place, man, and do that, So that right there, let's kind of gives you a hint as to who the targets were. I mean, like I said, I don't know too much about this situation. I just wanted to share this because this was breaking news that just happened.
Good. You all right? Go ahead, Mama. Go ahead. You got it.
So, this going on, like I'm trying to read and trying to find out more information on it. Just covering, as you see, Trump wants to, unrelated, Trump wants to designate Antifa as a terrorist group, but that right there, Antifa is a white group. You understand? And that goes back to the point that this going on is, this is white people doing this. This is the people that are claimed to be civilized. So here we go. I got a press conference right here that's going to go more into detail, right? You're forgiven, repent. I don't understand what your point was with that comment.
General's office, and the Attorney General's office is helping the Nashua Police Department in this investigation. We don't have a prepared statement, but we'll certainly take any questions, knowing that this is an active and ongoing investigation at this point, so the amount of information we can share is fairly limited.
Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, at this point, again, it is an active and ongoing investigation. We issued a news release in which an adult male entered the golf course area, and there was a shooting. An adult male died. Additional people were injured, and it's currently being investigated at this point.
Is this some sort of a hate crime, or what do you believe?
So there's a lot of details that we need to figure out, and we need to know that information before we can share it, and that's one of the details that we're trying to learn.
We heard that he yelled out, "The kids are okay."
Like, if I could, sir, right? I mean, I don't know. This is just it's something I noticed, and if I'm wrong, correct me, right? But you ever notice when they don't release the information of the perpetrator? Usually, I say that the reason why they don't release the information or say much is because it's an oppressor that did it.
Right. If it would have been black or Hispanic, it would have been like, yeah, it was a black or Hispanic
Immediately, right?
immigrant.
Right. Immediately they would have released it. But I noticed that when it's oppressors, maybe I'm crazy, right? Maybe I'm just assuming things. But I do maybe I might have noticed that when it's an oppressor that does this, they delay giving out the description of the perpetrator. They delay giving out the identity of the perpetrator.
No, you right on point. Remember that one? I can't think of that cat's name or what his position is, but he was saying when Charlie Kirk was unalive that he wished that it would have been someone else.
Right,
like,
33 hours. Prayed
not one
33
of
hours.
ours.
Hoping it was.
And that's probably right on spot with what you're saying right here.
Right, sir.
Because they're so on point, not on point, but they're trying to make it seem like we're the criminals and we're the ones that are violent. But at the same time, they're the ones doing all the crime and all the violence.
Right.
So this is what you're talking. This is what happened right here, huh? So some cat got unalived at a country club.
Right, at a country club. So I wondered like just the delaying bringing. I mean, of course, it just did happen. So I'm not surprised that they're not releasing the information. But let's see. I'm gonna hear more of this.
And free Palestine. So what is that?
Oh, hold on.
We're dealing with the facts that we're trying to learn.
We heard that he yelled out, "The kids are okay," and free Palestine.
So the shooter yelled out, "Free Palestine."
Good night.
Good night, sir. Hey, so sir, what's that scripture that terrorists are gonna come from all sides?
Yo, Joe, that's Job 18:11.
God, I'll pull that, sir. Right, because that's what came to mind right now, hearing that. And before anyone thinks I'm racially profiling anybody, man, we know that people that are for the pro-Palestine movement come in all types of races and ethnicities. You assume it's what I've seen lately. The main people proactive in doing crazy things for Palestine have been Edomites, have been oppressors. You remember the soldier that lit himself on fire not too long ago?
Yeah. Yep.
And that was a white guy that did it. And unfortunately, everyone will go try to fight this fight because they think they've been brainwashed by Christianity, to fall and think it's the right thing to do. But when I say that people are gonna ask, like, what do you mean? Why do you say it falls with Christianity? Because Christianity will have you loving everybody. Christianity will teach you that God loves you no matter what. Okay,
right.
Bipolar. Look at this. Bipolar Chickman said, "Did you guys talk about the shooting in York, Pennsylvania? 3 cops unalive." We touched on it, Bipolar Chickman. But Lord, we won't get more into it. But he said he yelled "Free Palestine." That back to the point. That just shows that anyone and everyone will join and fight that movement because, like Christianity, and this ideology brings everyone in. And the thing, Christianity, since it teaches the belief of that God is loves unconditionally, and that as long as you just believe in Jesus Christ, you can sin and it's okay. You understand? And that's how dangerous Christianity is. Every religion, Islam, Catholicism, right? Buddhism, Judaism, it's all the same thing. I know that's going to go over many people's heads, but that's the issue that we're dealing with. That's the mark of the beast. He said, yeah, it's crazy. Mainstream media is really silent about that situation in York, Penn. Bipolar Chipmunk, I wonder why mainstream media is really silent about it. Would it be the same reason that mainstream media is really silent about the shooting that happened at the same day Charlie Kirk got clipped?
Yeah, that didn't get too much play, did it?
Right, that did not get too much play either. Also, to the real quick to these two users, right? Two new users I see, Sun and Bipolar Chipmunk. Make sure y'all subscribe to our channel, The Inconvenient Truth 1969 on YouTube, right? Subscribe to the channel, and of course.
And
But yeah, I don't want. I'm gonna play more of this. I'm gonna play more of this.
State on the, on the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Con.
Where y'all coming from? Where y'all tuning in from? Y'all in Cali, the West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, the South. We got schools everywhere. You Black, Hispanic, American Indian, you know what I mean? Tap in, come to class, come check us out. Just quick, shout out. We got a barbecue coming up. We got the post barbecue. Strictly for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We're gonna be out in the Inland Empire, right? The IE. We got the barbecue. But first, we got a Thursday scripture breakdown class with General Hyman. In San Bernardino, we got Command Journey Honda's lecture coming up. We got the barbecue on Saturday. Sunday, we got our high holiday, the Feast of Tabernacles. Man, stop by our events. Come check us out. Don't be scared. Or, don't come by, hit us up. If you Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian, West Indian, you're a Native American Indian, Mexican, Central American, South America, or you're from the islands, man, hit us up.
Damn right. So, sir, I'm gonna play some more of this while we're at it.
What is that? Yeah, well, we're dealing with the facts and the information that we gather, and once we get that facts and information and have an actual motive that we can share, we'll certainly do that. But right now we get to deal with the facts and the information. For example, there was some information that there were two shooters. That turned out to be erroneous. We can definitively say that there is only one shooter.
Was this a targeted shooting?
Again, that's facts and information that we're trying to develop right now.
How many victims?
One adult male is deceased. There are multiple shooting victims. Again, we're trying to iron out that particular detail. Some of the shooting victims went to local fire departments, so that's why we're not sure of that detail just yet. How many people were injured in addition to the deceased male?
Is it okay to think that those victims?
Sir, so I'm gonna address Sun real quick because he said something right. He said, I will say y'all are making a mistake by holding firm the position that an individual is responsible for an ethnic culture / race. Son, I understand what you're saying, but you're telling the wrong people that. Why don't you tell that to the so-called white man? Why don't you tell white people that? Right? How did Donald Trump win the election? By demonizing an ethnic culture and race.
Damn.
How did Charlie Kirk, get so many followers and become so big on the internet? By using individuals, holding firm the position that an individual is responsible for an entire ethnic culture and race. They all push that. We're just telling you, we're just showing the other side of it. You understand?
Damn.
We're showing you that the white man points the finger at us. When one individual from our group does something, they'll demonize the entire group. We're just showing you that the oppressor, that white people are no different. You understand?
And what did Donald Trump say? He called us rapists, criminals, and thieves.
Right, and then he said
I guess some of them are good people. He said something like that. Some of them are good people.
He said some, I assume, are good people. So he was already implying that none are good people.
Right.
You understand, son? So I'm not taking one person and demonizing the entire ethnic group. What I'm showing you is the hypocrisy that ethnic group will take one person from my group and demonize my entire group.
God damn, I gotta.
Hey, Most High Christ, sir. You understand? Hey, man, learn from y'all. You understand?
Battle.
It's a lot, sir. I'm learning, man. I'm learning, man. Understand? But that was my whole point to Son, man. So, son, that's the point. You should go give this message and go tell Charlie Kirk's followers that. You should go tell all the Trump supporters that. Tell the Republicans that. Tell the alt-right that. Tell the Patriot Front. What's the other groups out there called, sir? The one percenters, right? That's what they called. One percenters, Posse Kamikaze, the KKK, the Proud Boys, whatever other white militia you got out there. Tell them this. Tell them to stop demonizing so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans when one does something. You understand? That's what you know. So I understand what you're saying, son, but you're talking to the wrong people.
Damn right. Damn right.
You said, look into the events that took place after Kirk was killed. Congress voted not to release the Epstein files, $650 million in funding for Israel. I understand that. Hey, son, I understand. I understand completely. And it's not surprising, right, that right before Kirk was clipped, he called for the Epstein files to be released. And let me say something, man. Son, I actually applaud you for bringing this out because you touched on something heavy. You touched on another example of the hypocrisy of America. Donald Trump called Mexicans rapists and criminals, and here you got an example of how he's on a list of a convicted rapist and criminal, right? Epstein was what was he doing? He was having some kind of sex trafficking thing going on this island, right?
That's what they're saying.
And Trump's name is supposedly on that list, you know. So and Charlie Kirk did call for that. So I wouldn't put it past this oppressor, you know, to gone as far as to silence him. Now, because I know the feds is listening, I'm not saying that happened. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past, given the history.
But I would tell you this though, son. Don't ignore what the brother just told you. You know, the brother dropped on you real heavy. Like, you over here trying to make it seem like we're doing something wrong. But did you ever look at them and point out what they're doing wrong, the hypocrisy that they're doing, that they're showing? You know, all we're doing is just revealing the evil that these people do. You know, so what you need to do is stop looking at us and being like, look at what y'all doing. Stop, stop blaming one person or stop blaming the whole race for something that one person does.
Right. Damn right, sir.
About what they do. You know, do you look at the evil that they do to us? You know, that's something you got to look at. The brother dropped it on you real heavy, man. You cannot ignore what he just told you. That was real strong. You know what the brother said. So you definitely take that, man, and consider what he said. But let's keep going, Black Man.
Sir. Yes, you see, he's already trying to hide it and clean it up, right? Saying like, "Oh, we don't know this and that." The newscaster asked him like, "Well, didn't the shooter yell out 'Free Palestine'?" You know, like, I just want to touch on real quick, sir. I saw a documentary earlier, right? Talking about like the atmosphere of how America is on edge, right? America is on edge for civil war.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was showing like everyone's out there getting ready, arming up. You understand it? And just so y'all know, according to the Bible, this is supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen, and it's inevitable, man. The Lord never wanted all nations coming together as one. That's one thing you got to understand, you know. Son, are you a supporter of Charlie Kirk? Just a quick question. Are you a supporter of Charlie Kirk? See, Kirk claimed that Israel was intending to ethnically cleanse Palestine. I mean, Kirk, I wouldn't put it past. I'm sure he was. I'm sure he brought all that out. You understand? But one thing that, can't get away from is that he was pushing a narrative, right? He was pushing a narrative to placate to a certain audience of people, just like Donald Trump was. Trump placated to the audience that he knew was going to get him elected, which was the group, the white supremacists.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And that's who Charlie Kirk was using. There's a reason why didn't Charlie Kirk ever go debate people, people officially? Why didn't he go have a I don't know, like, what's one of them famous debaters out there? You know, like that's on the left.
You know, like someone around his level.
Right, like there's someone on his level, but on the opposite side, because they look like he was just going to campus quads, you know, and you know, making clips out of students that were just getting emotional, you know.
And then he's not getting no one that's gonna call him out on his lies.
He one sister did catch him. Once, go ahead, sir.
No, I'm just saying that he's a professional liar.
Right. Oh, okay, son. So now I get you. Said, of course, man. I agree. I just believe if it exists on either side, we already lost. Feel me? You want to clarify? You agree with us or you agree with Charlie Kirk, son? He said, I just believe if it exists on either side, we already lost. Well, you from the tribe. What's your identity, son? Real quick. Let me ask you that. Let me ask you that question, son. What's your ethnicity? Are you so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American?
But let's keep going though.
You
know, move away from these stories. Let's keep going.
Victims are okay if they're at a fire department rather than the hospital?
It's too early to say at this point what exactly the condition of the non-deceased people are.
Why were they not taken to a hospital?
Again, some people went by themselves to local fire departments.
Damn, sir. Like, I mean, it's a 12 minutes, right? So, of course, for times they won't play the whole, but just wanted to bring out more into the motive behind the shooting, right? A possible motive where this was probably someone, a pro-Palestine supporter that went in and went after these people, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, sir, what was that scripture? Job what?
18:11.
Come on, I'll pull that real quick. And then we'll go
to the next thing.
I got it right here. I'll pull it right now. And this just because, you know, back on topic, right? So this is the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Terror shall make him afraid on every side. This oppressor is afraid on every side, whether you're left, whether you right, whether you're pro LGBTQ, anti LGBTQ, whether you're Christian, whether you're a Patriot Front, a 1%er, y'all are afraid on every side of violence coming your way. You understand? So that go ahead.
It's crazy that, you know, they terrorized us for so long, and now they're getting a taste of their own medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got a damn near civil war that's going to break out.
Right.
Civil war. They got a fight going on in Venezuela. Another war that's about to break out. Something going on in Russia. You know, you got their own people trying to fight against them. So that's what makes them afraid, is that they got war all over. You know, on the left, like what you said, the left side, right side, straight, back, you know. There ain't no running from this war. You know what it says, and shall drive him to his feet, meaning what? Like, he gonna be forced to go to war.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And them devils are, and you know, our oppressor, he really don't want to fight.
Right,
you know?
Sir.
Put that on, like, you know, I follow their pages on Instagram and Facebook, the White House page, and they promote a lot of war. You know, the Department of War. You know, they're showing all the military, showing how they're bombing boats in Venezuela.
Right.
You know, they make it seem like they're ready to fight, but you know what? They really are not ready to fight. They'll fight against people from Venezuela. They'll fight people from Mexico, and they'll make it seem like, yeah, we're ready to go fight. We're ready to go destroy the narco cartels. You know,
right.
We're ready to go wipe them out. We're ready to fight against the immigrants and put them out. But they really don't want that beef with Russia.
Right.
They don't want that beef with China. You know what I mean? They don't like those are the type of fights and wars that they try to avoid, because they know that they're gonna give them a run for their money. You know. So now where it says that, and shall drive him to his feet, now meaning what? They're gonna have to stand up on their feet and go fight. And that's not something they want to do. They ain't trying to fight against no Russia and China.
Right.
And them Chinese are ready to fight against America. And
Right,
those
sir.
same thing. They're ready to fight against this nation. But these
Right.
people are not. I don't give a damn how many videos you see of them talking about, oh, we got all the strongest military, all the weapons. Trust me, they ain't not want to fight that war. The minute there's a war breaks out with China and Russia, you're gonna see all these white folks protesting, talking about let's not fight, let's not go to war. You know, don't send my children to China and Russia. Don't send my
Right.
children to go fight. They're gonna try to back out of that.
Right.
But you know what? The Lord is gonna make them, what it say? The Lord is gonna drive him to his feet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna have to fight. And there ain't no backing up out of that. But go ahead, Malak.
So like, sir, as they claim, they say they don't want to fight, but they're ready to. I mean, what y'all buying all these weapons for if y'all not really gonna fight when it comes down to it? When the time comes that y'all claim that the Chinese and the Russians are gonna come into American soil and take over, y'all telling me y'all not gonna fight? Y'all gonna fight, right? Because it's in y'all nature to be what is it? Be violent and have that bloodlust. So y'all gonna do it. Y'all claim that y'all don't want to do it, but y'all really want to do it. Y'all really want to fight. Y'all have that bloodlust to do it, you know. But I got the next article, sir.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Yeah, we double time it. This is the next article titled "Man Arrested After Drive-By Shooting at ABC TV Station in Sacramento." A man has been arrested after a drive-by shooting into an ABC affiliate TV station in Sacramento, according to police. Anibal Hernandez Santana, 64 years old, was arrested early Saturday and charged with felonies that included shooting into an occupied building, assault with a deadly weapon, and negligent discharge of a firearm. So, like, sir, of course, the name, right? You already seen Anibal Hernandez Santana. And right, look at how quick they released his identity. This happened yesterday, and already released who it was. You know,
right?
He says,
like what? So this brother did what? He did a drive-by at a news station.
Yeah, at the ABC News. It's alleged that he did it because in retaliation for them canceling Jimmy Kimmel, right? You know.
Damn, bro. That's a shame, man.
Yeah, come on. Well, I mean, they said like, sir. I mean, I don't know for sure if it's a brother or not. It could be a Spaniard.
I highly doubt that was a Spaniard because that's not something a Spaniard would do.
It's a lot.
More
right.
Like 99% sure that was a brother.
I mean, the brother that there was a brother that unalived two Israelis too, right, a while back in the name of Palestine. That's why I had touched on how it even that ideology of fighting for Palestine is like dangerous, like Christianity, right? Oh, and on the topic, right? Because this cat's son gave his identity. He said he's Sicilian. You would probably look at me and say I'm white, but a majority of my family are darker skinned. And then of course, he's a Christian. He said, I'm also a follower of Christ and don't believe a person's melanin dictates whether they receive salvation. I appreciate the conversation. I mean, he said, God bless.
This ain't skin tone. Like this ain't about having dark skin or light skin.
Right.
Your skin tone doesn't matter. What matters is your bloodline. Who's your father? Where do you come from? If you come from Mexico, North America, Central America, South America, if you descend to the slaves, then that's what makes you an Israelite.
Right.
Who you are and where you come from. It don't matter. Your skin tone don't matter.
Right.
Like Africans, those are not Israelites. East Indians are not Israelites. Right. Arabs are not Israelites. And they have dark skin. They have a lot of nations have dark skin. But your skin tone is not what makes you an Israelite. It's
right.
your blood. So if you're a so-called white man, then that's your race of people. Then you enjoy yourself. You living in the kingdom. You enjoy yourself.
Right.
If you want to watch our show, man, go ahead and like, subscribe.
And of course, if you're trying to select, sir, I know you're finished. I was saying you want to try and plead your case, right? You said that a person. You don't believe a person's melanin dictates whether they receive salvation or not. That's never been the ISUPK stance that, as Officer Lahab brought up. It's not your melanin, right? It's your lineage. That whole claim that salvation is based on melanin is kind of, how do I say it? Is misinformation that your side purposely spreads about us. Is whoever paid y'all, whoever started that claim, right, is a disinformation or a misinformation attempt to try and discredit us in our claims about the Bible. Y'all want to portray us to be quote unquote black supremacists. You understand? And that's why y'all push that claim. But it's never been about skin color. When we say Christ is black, that's because the Bible says Christ is black, and because the lie that's been pushed about Christ, that white boy that you see pushed, which is really Cesar Borgia, that image has been pushed on us. So we're just bringing out the truth about what Christ looked like according to the Bible. Mm-hmm. But back on this topic, sir, I also have a video, right? It says he's held on $20,000 bail. On Friday around 1:30 p.m. local time, police responded to reports of shots fired in the 400 block of Broadway where the ABC 10 TV station is located. At least 3 bullets were fired into a window of the TV station's lobby. According to police, after the shots were fired, the vehicle drove off. The building was occupied at the time of the shooting and no one was injured, police said. ABC 10 is an affiliate of ABC and is owned by Tegna. Hey, Salaki, sir, you might be correct. This probably more likely is a brother because we're the worst criminals. You understand? Right. We'll go do this cat went and did a drive-by right in front of the building, probably didn't realize there's cameras in front of the building that were going to track his license plate and got busted. Charlie Kirk's...
Let me tell you something, man. You Hispanic, you Latino, man, and you want to fight. I get it. Like, we want to fight, but you fight it the wrong way. Like, right. This cat fighting because Jimmy Kimmel got fired. So in his mind, he's like, you know what? I'll go teach him a lesson. Let's go do a drive-by at the new building.
Right.
Like, that's not gonna do nothing. All it's gonna do is get your dumb ass locked up.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? If you want to fight, man, you come into the UPK. We're gonna show you how to fight. And you're not gonna gun and go shoot up a building or do any of that. First off, what you're gonna do, if you want to fight, the first thing you're gonna do is get off of drugs.
Right, damn right. Go ahead, sir.
Get off of weed and getting off of drugs.
Right.
Number 2, get in class. Let's see if we can get there. Get in class. Get in all black. Put on some black boots, black pants, black t-shirt, headband. 3, follow orders. Can you follow orders? Can you listen to another man telling you what to do? Can you show up to class on time? Can you show up to camp? Can you show up to the school? Can you show up to the high holy days? Can you pay tithes? Right? Number 4, take down some notes. Like, those are things that you got to do if you're going to fight this battle. And if you can't do those 4 things, you ain't ready for this battle, man. You know what you're going to do is do something that's, what do you call that? And what's the word I'm looking for? Counterproductive.
Right.
You go shoot up a building and get locked up, and then what? You're gonna be on the news on a newspaper, and we're gonna do a story on you.
Sir.
Go ahead.
Now say, son, this is the example, right? They're gonna take this brother, because more likely is a brother that did it, and they're gonna demonize Latinos for it. They're gonna take this story right here, and then up the ante on the ICE raids. Don't be surprised if they use this situation. That's who you should be talking to, right? About, not demonizing an entire group of people. Go talk to them because they're going to take this situation and demonize an entire ethnic group because of this incident right here. And also, sir, I want to add this, right, to anyone else seeing this and getting inspired by this. You think Jimmy Kimmel's going to go risk his freedom for you?
Right.
Jimmy Kimmel probably wouldn't even risk his freedom for Guillermo. You understand? So y'all should think twice about that, man. Don't let this stuff go to your head, man. You cannot fight for this oppressor, man. You cannot fight for them, and they will never appreciate what you do for them. You understand? You want to fight for your people, man? Come to the ISUPK and learn how to love your brother as yourself. That's right. What you do, man. Forgive your brother. That's what you do. Forgive your brother. Forgive your father. Forgive your mother. You understand? That's who you show love. That's who you forgive. And then in turns, fix the issues at home, man. fix your community by loving your brother as yourself, learning to forgive your brother, forgive your carnal. You understand? Stop, hating each other, carnales y mujeres. That's what y'all do to start changing things around here. Fighting for this oppressor, avenging for them will never do, and it will never benefit us. It only jams us up, man. But concert, that was an article. I'm gonna see if I got play the video real quick.
If we could, let's touch on Fluffy real quick. Did we touch on Fluffy last week?
Well, yeah, Con, we went over it, but we can go over it again.
Let's go into Fluffy one more time, and if you can pull up Ryan Garcia, just look it up on the net.
Instagram, okay, on IG.
You can go on IG or just Google it. It should pop up.
Okay, concert. Well, what happened with Ryan Garcia? What did he do?
So, like I said, same thing that Fluffy did. He's just taking a stance on Charlie Kirk and saying that no one should be saying anything evil about Charlie Kirk and him passing away. So let's if you can pull that article and then pull up Fluffy as well, Gabriel Iglesias.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. I think I found it right here. He put out some tweets, right?
Yeah, at least so.
Okay, I got him right here.
Who is this, Gabriel Iglesias or Ryan Garcia?
Ryan Garcia. I'm gonna start since we touched on Fluffy. I'm gonna touch on Ryan Garcia first, and then we'll go back to Fluffy.
Okay.
I don't know. Can you see the image?
I can see it. Yep.
Come, Most High Christ. So yeah, this is Ryan Garcia, and this is what he said. He said, "This is going to be turning point in America. They planned this and set this up. I don't give a F way to accurate. This is not random. You can feel the silence in the air. You can feel a moment of silence in the heavens for Charlie Kirk. Good night, man. Rest in heaven, Charlie Kirk. God damn. I got a video to play actually out of one after. He had a beautiful family and kids, and we got people celebrating because he had his own views. Weirdos.
Look, man, this cat right here, he's a weirdo.
Right.
And you know what? Like, cats like this, man, these cats right here are embarrassing. And here's why. Like, this cat right here, can you read the part what he said about the families?
Yeah, he said he had a beautiful family and kids. And we got people celebrating because he had his own views.
Okay, so this cat right here, so he had a beautiful family, he had a beautiful kids, right? And he had people celebrating because he had views. Is that what he said?
Because he had his own views.
Oh yeah. So I mean, people are celebrating his death, right? That's
right? Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, people are celebrating his death.
Do you know how many white folks were celebrating the death of Latinos when they were getting killed by ICE agents?
Right.
Or how we bring it up almost every show.
Right.
Where you had white folks, where you had Edomites celebrating the death of the brothers that passed away on the 210 freeway.
Right. Right.
You know? Again, what were they saying? He should have been running on the freeway. Or that's one less immigrant in America.
Don't come here illegally.
Don't come here illegally.
Right.
You know, and the list goes on of everything that they were saying. And why did he say that? Saying anything about the brothers that get unalived by ICE agents?
Right.
I have not said one thing about that.
Right,
but,
sir.
Charlie Kirk passes away, he gets unalived, and now this cat want to say, "Oh, we shouldn't be saying that. Shouldn't be saying Charlie Kirk." He had a family, he had a beautiful family and beautiful kids. But what about the Hispanics, man? What about what happens to us? What about the men that have lost their kids and lost their wives, families that gotten separated? This cat, you can count. He's probably only made one comment about what's been going on.
Sir.
And like I said, it's a shame, man. It's a shameful thing. And of course, like if you're Hispanic, you should not be looking up to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is an idiot, bro.
Right. God damn.
It's like brain cells getting hit in the head. But it shows you where he stands. And he stands with Charlie Kirk. And then of course you got other videos too with him supporting Donald Trump as well. supporting
Good night, Adawan. Right.
Republican, and all of that.
Sir. If I could, sir, after we speak on Fluffy, I'm gonna show you. I'll show the reason why they stand with Charlie Kirk and why they were silent. They've been silent about the ICE raids. They've been silent about. You know who else had a beautiful family and kids? Ryan Garcia, Silverio Villegas Gonzalez had a beautiful family and kids. What's the other brother's name? Two other brothers that died, man. Let me get their names, right? So we can remember, right? Two other brothers died along with Silverio that had beautiful families and kids, right? And they left them behind because ICE unalived them. And let's remember these other two names, right? As we're sharing this, as we're talking on the topic, right? Let me get their names, man. Because go ahead, sir.
I don't know if you've seen this as well. Like I know a lot of people from the world that were speaking against ICE and speaking against Donald Trump. Speaking against everything that's going on with the Latinos in America as far as the ICE raids and the deportations and all that. And as soon as this cat passed away, now all of that went out the window. Now the same people that were saying, man, you know what? Let stop the ICE raids. What's going on with what Donald Trump is doing is evil. Right. Now all of a sudden, that kind of went away, and now they're saying, "Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk."
Right.
Crying for Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? Sure. Like they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball, and all of a sudden, this cat became a hero.
Sir. So Salakia, here are the names right here, and here are the three brothers right so far that have been unalived by ICE. And that's Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, this brother right here. May he rise again. Carlos Roberto Montoya, I believe this is the brother that died on the 10 freeway, Adawan. You understand? Carlos Roberto Montoya. And then this other brother right here, the last one, get his name right.
You don't believe what we're saying, man. All you gotta do is just look up, look this up, and then go look at the comments, and you're gonna see these white folks having a blast, making fun of their death,
Sir.
Having a ball.
This brother right there, Jaime Alanis Garcia. Right, the other brother that died. Ryan Garcia didn't say anything about these three brothers, right? That had beautiful families and kids. Y'all was real quiet about them. Fluffy was real quiet about them. You understand? He was quiet about them. Didn't say anything. You know why? Because you don't get fame for that. Right? Here's Fluffy's post, sir. Right, and this is just sad, man. Of course, he said, free speech should not be a death sentence. If you didn't like what kind of things the man said, you had the choice to not listen. Taking a man's life because you disagree with them is cowardly. At the end of the day, he was a father, husband, and a human being.
Man, and the point is that Gabriel Iglesias was silent.
Right.
In these past 6-7 months, this cat has not said anything about anything that's going on with the Latinos.
Right.
You know what? We were talking about that.
Right, sir.
Before this came out, we were talking about Gabriel Iglesias hasn't said anything.
Right.
And not him, a lot of other Hispanic athletes and actors and things like that.
Right.
These are people who love the Hispanic heritage, wear the Mexican flag, and speak Spanish. They're proud to be Mexican supposedly, but at the same time, they don't say anything that's going on with our people. Gabriel Iglesias is one of them, and Ryan Garcia.
Salaki, sir. What's crazy is that they were quiet about that, right? They're really silent about our people, and it's so insulting and so I'm just disappointed and disgusted. I'm gonna tell you why. Your biggest supporters are Latinos, Fluffy. Are Latinos, Ryan Garcia. That's who that's your people that are going to support you when you go entertain. And y'all turn your backs on them. Y'all turn your backs on them and then go and recognize the oppressor of your people. You want, but I know why y'all do that. I know why y'all clout chase Charlie Kirk. You want to get a following. You want to make money. You know, you get more people to tune into you. You get views and all that. You probably get paid for it. But here's the real reason as to why you'll put Charlie Kirk over your own people. Here's the reason why, sir. So like I found this image right here. Look at this pause image. This is why. This is why, sir. And look, they even quoted Charlie Kirk saying, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. He defeated death so that you can live. We only have to accept this free gift of salvation. Concert, go ahead.
What did Jeremiah say? He said Charlie Kirk is burning in hell right now.
Right. Hey, I got another one, sir.
If you believe in Christianity and you think that the heaven and hell, that hell is on the bottom and there's a fire and Satan is there, that's where Charlie Kirk is at.
Hey, concert.
Right, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. So like I'll say it after.
No, I'm saying he's burning in hell.
Right.
Burning in hell right now. Screaming. Now that's where he's at. Go ahead, Blama.
I'll say, hey son, is this the Jesus Christ that you follow, son? I bet this is the Jesus Christ you follow. Also, right, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, Christ defeated death, but Charlie Kirk didn't. You know, and that's the truth. That's not me making fun of his death. He did not defeat it, right? Because the Lord was not with them. You understand? But this is right here. You know, I was going to say this, sir. You know, I noticed the apologists are real quiet about this image right here. Why are y'all not going to call this out? Why isn't any Christian calling out this image right here? Right? Y'all got issue with Yahushai. Y'all quick to try and debunk that. But I don't see none of y'all speaking an outrage against this image. Because you know the man on the left of Charlie Kirk right there is not Jesus Christ. That's Cesar Borgia. So all y'all that are true followers and fans of Charlie Kirk, why are y'all not in outrage? Why are y'all not charging the people that are pushing this image right here? Like I'm mind blown. You understand at how much y'all accept white supremacy, and this is clearly what this is. This is the proof Charlie Kirk was a white supremacist. You understand? Because this is the same image that white supremacists believe in. You know, right. and this shows that majority of that everyone that follows Charlie Kirk, you support white supremacy. That's really what it is. Your forgive and repent says the picture says the white man is the Jews. Revelation 3:9. It's you understand? Revelation 2:9 as well. You're forgiven, repent, right? The synagogue of Satan. And this is what this is right here, man. But that right here, this is why Fluffy and Ryan Garcia were quick to honor Charlie Kirk, but had nothing to say about their people suffering at the hands of that's why they had nothing to say about Silverio Villegas Gonzalez.
If you right? Can you pull that scripture? Can you pull that scripture? What is it? 1 Corinthians 1. Go to 1 Corinthians, the first chapter. The first, man, it's a lot. It might be the second, where it says that that I didn't choose the noble or the mighty. I didn't choose the noble or the mighty.
Come on, I'll look at it right now.
The noble or the mighty, but I chose the weak to confound the wise.
Okay, come on. Let me see. I chose the weak to confound the wise. Sir, that sounds like a heavy scripture right there. Also, what is it? I kept the secrets from the wise and the prudent.
Come.
But
Go ahead.
I think it's 1 Corinthians 1:27.
Okay, there you go. That's it. Probably go to 26. Let me hear 26, and if you can read down, Babu Kasha.
Come on. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 26. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called.
Right. Not so you see your calling, brethren, right? Remember, we calling, man. But who is getting that calling? That calling, which is to serve the Most High, to serve Christ, right? That calling did not go to the noble, to the mighty, right? Which after that? Which after the mighty? Noble, mighty, and
not many noble are called.
Not many noble or mighty are called, right? So this talking about people who are famous, who got riches and fame, athletes, politicians, your religious leaders. They did not get this calling. Gabriel Iglesias did not get this calling. Ryan did not get this calling. They got money, they got fame and riches, but what we got is more than what they have. This truth is more than those riches that they have and that wealth that they have and that fame that they have. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, these cats right here are dumb as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were following Charlie Kirk and feeling sad for Charlie Kirk or selling out for Charlie Kirk, man. You know? But what we have is more. You know what I'm saying? We what do we have? We have that calling. Keep going.
Come on. Verse not many noble are called. Verse 27. But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
Go ahead.
And God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
There you go. Who did God choose? Who did God call? Who did the Most High call? The foolish things of the world, right? The weak things, the things that are despised, which is who? Me and you.
Right, sir.
We're the people that are looked at as fools.
Right.
People look at us like, man, y'all broke. Y'all ain't got no money. They tell us, go get a job, which we already have. We got a job. If y'all don't know, we got slaveries.
Right.
We come from bad communities, poverty, or just like, we're just looked at as people that are not going to end up doing anything.
Right.
You're going to work your slavery. You're going to work your slavery up to 50, and then you're going to end up dying from a disease or from a heart attack or something.
Right.
But we people that the Most High chose. We got that calling. The God chose the foolish things and the things that are despised, which is me and you. You know what I mean?
Right,
so, if you Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, man, you watching these videos, man, that's for a reason. You getting your calling.
Sir.
So that means what? You better get up in here. Because this calling you got, not everybody gets it. Not everybody gets this calling. And one thing's for sure is Gabriel Iglesias did not get this calling. Ryan Garcia and all these famous men that people look up to, all these rich men that people want to be like, they did not get this calling. But we did get this calling. The Most High did choose us to confound the wise. People looked up as wise. We're calling them out and letting you know that these cats right here are not to be followed. These people like this are not to be, looked up as leaders and idols. These people, they are the fools. You get what I'm saying?
Damn right, sir.
We are the wise. And why are we wise? Because we got the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Most High. But let's keep going. What else?
Come. So like you talk about what else for the precept or the next topic?
This is the precept. You keep going. I can't read it.
Come. It says, and God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And base things of the world, verse 28, and the things which are despised have God chosen. Yea, and the things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
Right, things that are despised. Again, that's me and you. People that are hated, not liked. The black sheep in the family. You know what I'm saying? Or like we looked at as the rebels in society. Those are the that the Most High chose Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man. You know, we were chosen. You know what I mean? You were getting this calling. So, man, you better tap in. But go ahead, Malama, go ahead. I'm going to pass it to you.
You want the next article or?
Yeah, let's get or what else? Where we at?
Okay. So this was the end, right? We got done talking about Fluffy. The next thing I had lined up, right, is now actually we're at the Charlie Kirk vigil since we just segued into it, sir.
Go ahead.
Let me share this. Armed man arrested at stadium ahead of Charlie Kirk Memorial in Arizona, officials. And then it's right here. A man has been arrested and charged after he allegedly impersonated a law enforcement officer and brought a weapon to the stadium where Charlie Kirk's memorial service will be held on Sunday, according to officials. Joshua Runkles, 42, was booked on charges of carrying a weapon into a prohibited place and impersonating a police officer, according to the Arizona Department of Public Safety. And this the cat right here. Oh, so like, sir, when you get back, I'm gonna play it.
I look like white right there.
Cesar Porcia. You know, like, I mean, like, let me play a video, man. Let me see what the news has to say.
As a live look over State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, that is just outside of Phoenix, and it's where tomorrow an estimated 100,000 people are expected to attend a public service for Charlie Kirk, the conservative political activist gunned down at an event there at Utah Valley University earlier on this month. Now, today we are learning that an armed man claiming to be connected to law enforcement has been detained at the stadium. Take a look at this post here from Fox News. They just confirmed a lot of this information. Again, that's saying new. An armed man claiming to be connected to law enforcement was reportedly detained after entering the Charlie Kirk Memorial site there at State Farm Stadium. A spokesperson for the Secret Service actually providing a statement with some details here to Fox News Digital. Want to pop that up on your screen to give you a look at what they had to say. And this is a part of the statement. They said the U.S. Secret Service, in coordination with local law enforcement in Glendale, Arizona, is investigating an individual who was observed exhibiting suspicious behavior at State Farm Stadium. The individual was approached by Secret Service and stated during the encounter that he was a member of law enforcement and that he was armed. The individual is not a member of authorized law enforcement working the event and is currently in custody. So again, that person detained. Now, the person has not been publicly identified, and a federal source telling Fox News.
See, sir, like, real quick, notice not they released his identity already, right? But notice how they're not quick to release the identity when it's an Edomite. Once again, right? Like I said, am I wrong for assuming that, y'all? Out there, listen, let me know. Let me know. Because I'm noticing the trend. When it's one of y'all don't release nothing.
But so he was an Edomite?
He's an Edomite. This a cat right here.
Right.
This is the cat. Good night. So my question is, what political party is he with, and why did he do that? You understand? Like, what was the whole purpose of him doing this? Right.
Yeah, he was trying to look like a cop, right? He was trying to impersonate a cop.
Yeah, Khan. So was he targeting? Like, was he gonna, start unaliving everybody there, like all the Charlie Kirk supporters? Is this one of the radical lefts, or is this one of the radical rights? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you something. Like, America is getting a wake up call.
Right.
The whole time, the White House and Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk been saying we're the violent ones and we're criminals and we need to go back to our country because we're taking over.
Right.
They find out we're not the ones that they got to worry about.
Right, sir.
Cats like this right here. It's
right.
their own people that they got to worry about. This cat act like he was a cop. God damn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not something we do.
Right.
No, we ain't gonna try to dress up like a cop and do some shit like this. You tell one of us, hey, I want you to dress up as a cop, and I want you to show up here. We're gonna be like, no, fuck that. You ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get me killed.
Right.
But these cats do not think like that. This is who you need to worry about. This is this is a threat to society.
Right.
This is who you have to be afraid of. This is who racial profile. You see
and
this.
They did.
You see this, you need to run, or at least this, because I do this all the time too. I'm looking at him like, hold up, like, what are you about to do? Or at least got to see you from like the corner of my eye, or have a good look on you, just in case you over here gonna, dig into your pocket.
Right.
You got to. You're
gonna
have a history of doing that, a reputation of doing it. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
But if you in church, you're gonna think that this is the Savior.
Right. You don't think this Christ
is good and compassionate and forgiving, and you're gonna be the first one taken out.
Right.
Because you under a spell. You're looking at people like me and you, like we're the enemy. And man, brother, we are not the enemy. Your enemy is this person right here. This is the person that is going to take your life, take your kids, take your family, and everybody else close to them. That's just what they do. So go ahead, Maslaki.
Nah, say, sir, he definitely will not be making it inside our classes or our cookouts. You understand? Just I something that I always wondered, Adawan, where in the fuck was the security detail for Charlie Kirk? So like I had to use profanity, but that would be my question, right? Whoever was in charge of Charlie Kirk's security, man, they failed at their job. You understand? Like, knowing how much hate this man got, y'all didn't look out for nothing. But say again?
You know why?
Go ahead, sir. Why?
Because they were in Utah. There's all white people.
Right. They didn't profile their people.
They were amongst themselves, and they're like, okay, it's fine. It's okay. It's all white over here. Not knowing that those are the worst people to be around.
Right.
I hear brothers say it all the time. If you would have been around black people, you would have been good.
He would have been, he'd have been good. He went to those straight. Right.
If you would have been around Hispanics, you would have been straight. The most that they would have gotten is just some brother just talking mad shit. That's about it. Man,
right.
How you gonna say that? How you gonna say that about us? That's probably the most he would have gotten.
Concert.
But ain't no brother gonna do what with what's that cat's name?
Dylan Stormroof, and then this guy. This guy. Say again. Tyler Robinson or something like that.
Tyler Robinson. Ain't nobody gonna do that. It wouldn't even come into the thought of it wouldn't even happen.
Right.
Get on the roof and I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Right, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what we do. The most we're gonna do is give them the finger and be like, man, fuck you for saying
talk some shit to him.
We're gonna talk some shit. That's probably the most we get.
Right.
Maybe a beer can thrown at him.
Chug a beer can.
That's probably it right there. But these cats, they take it to a whole different level.
Right. Right, sir. I mean, look at this cat, man. Well, let me give the Secret Service a hand for this one. They racially profiled one of their own for once in this situation, and look what they caught. I mean, come on, man. Good night. Pecan, this guy's name is Ryan Runkle. What is it? Something Runkles? Joshua Runkles.
Runkles, man. Good night. That last name too. Runkles?
Runkles, man. This cat looked like he on that Megan's Law shit. But hey, man, like once again,
who you look like?
Who you look like?
This cat look like the psychopath from Silence of the Lambs.
Damn right, Buffalo Bill.
That's what we look like. Buffalo Bill was psychopath.
Right,
man.
Right. Sir, couldn't be any much further from the truth, man. But sir, I'll get, since we're on Charlie Kirk now, I got some more stuff on him, right? So I also wanted to bring out, right, because once again the arguments are pushed, right, that Charlie Kirk's supporters and the people that were mourning him did it the right way. They did it peacefully. They were non-violent. Let me pull some videos I found. That's the news story. Look at this right here. This is how non-violent and peaceful and civilized they are, sir.
This guy's gonna get fucked.
What happened? I thought y'all said y'all were peaceful. I thought y'all said y'all don't riot and go crazy, right? When here's look at y'all being violent, going crazy. I mean, let it been some more of those people, and it probably would have turned into a full-blown riot.
Right.
But I thought y'all supposed to be the calm ones, the peaceful ones, the civilized ones, and that y'all nothing like the radical left. Y'all nothing like the Antifa and the snowflakes, as you call them. Y'all showing me y'all no different. Y'all couldn't stand someone saying something that you didn't like to hear about Charlie Kirk, so y'all decided y'all had to put your hands on this person. Y'all didn't agree with their point of view, so you decided you had to put your hands on this person. Isn't that what y'all speak against? Isn't that what y'all against, y'all people on the right? Charlie Kirk supporters? Go ahead, sir.
If I could, I remember when George Floyd passed away, and I remember when those cops were saying, "I can breathe."
Right. Same
Remember
thing Same thing for Eric Garner, right? That one brother that was selling the cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
They were wearing shirts that said, "I can breathe." What happened now? Y'all can't take a joke? Bro, y'all so sensitive now, as y'all say? Right? Now all of a sudden when it's done to y'all, you understand the pain. You understand how horrible it is. That's the Lord being poetic. The Lord shows you what's the Bible say? The Bible says you reap what you sow. And that's what that is right there. Let me see. I got some more videos right here.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it. Use the voices that are talking to you people. Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Provo right now. I'm so pissed. Damn it. This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed about.
Good night.
This is the cat you need to stay the hell away from.
This is a cat you need a profile.
Yeah, right.
The FBI, you should go find this man and keep an eye on him. That's who y'all should go look up, man. Not us.
He's
him.
A potential threat to society.
Right. This is a threat right here. This looks like a fanatic. You understand? He's the one that'll go and harm some people. Let someone say F Charlie Kirk in front of him. What do you think he'll do? Let someone say that in front. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, sir?
Yeah.
Let someone say that in front of this devil. What do you think he'll do? He got that brute rage. You know what I mean?
But real quick, why is he filming himself?
Right.
Like, you think that this cat Like, you know what I'm saying? He went on that camera, press record, and then, man, Charlie Kirk. Like, you know.
Hey, Salakia, sir.
Mental problems should be doing some shit like that too. Cause not,
Right.
like, you know, mad and angry. I don't like, you know, if I'm mad as hell, nothing tells me, hey, you know what, let me record myself real quick and put this live. You know what I mean?
Right.
This devil right here, you know, obviously got some, you know,
Hey,
more
right.
issues going on.
Hey, Salakia, sir, side note. You can't tell me the white man isn't Esau.
Right.
Or isn't Edom. Look at how he matches the shirt. Look at how he matches the shirt, man. Now, let me go. Well, what is it? He was red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? So, I mean, there you go, man. It's like there's more. Look at this. Look at the fanaticism over Charlie Kirk. Here's another one.
You know what? You know another thing too, man. I've seen white folks act like that.
Con.
And then switch off and act like nothing was happening.
Right.
You know, they'll go right back to, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Can I get some coffee? Yeah. Man, I promise you I've seen that before.
Right.
I've seen white do that where she's acting just like that. And then go into a store and order coffee. Hey, can I get a Frappuccino? You know, no sugar, you know, all of that. And then walk out like nothing happened.
Right.
And I remember seeing that and I was like, wow, that's insane right there.
Con, sir.
You know what I mean? But go ahead. You got another video?
No, Con, I got some more. Look at this fanaticism over. I wouldn't be surprised if a religion got birthed from this cat, man. They're gonna call it something called like Charlie Kirkism or something. Because good night, just the fanaticism over this guy. Look at this, sir.
How great thou art, how great thou art, and when I think that God his son not sparing sent him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on that cross is my soul, my Savior.
Like, it's just sad, sir, seeing this. You understand? Because you see, I mean, I don't know. It looks like it's a lot of Latinos in there that are literally singing for Charlie Kirk, like if he was Jesus Christ himself. You understand? And they even said, "How great thou art." Like, it's wild. Like they really thought Charlie Kirk was a man of God. You understand? Like, y'all really seriously thought Charlie Kirk was a man of God? Like,
real quick. You're forgive and repent. Are you in contact with the school? And if you haven't gotten in contact with the school, I can give you that the number to the brother that's running on Minnesota. Let me know. Go, man.
No. You know, you understand, sir? But that's just crazy. Like, just they're singing gospel music and praise songs to Charlie Kirk, like if he was a god himself. It goes back to that. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised, sir, if you see a religion from this called Kirkism.
Right. No, you ain't lying.
This is a cult. If y'all want to talk about cults and whatnot, Charlie Kirk's followers are in a cult because the crazy things they do in the name of Charlie Kirk.
He got his own holiday too, I think.
Yeah, he's getting his own holiday, which is ironic because didn't he say there were too many federal holidays? Didn't he say he said he was that Juneteenth should be revoked because there's too many federal holidays? And then let me show this real quick, right? Because this shows how real the situation is getting. When I mean fanaticism, I mean fanaticism. Look at this, sir. Also, this video right here.
Our streets! As the white population continues to be replaced with a population of non-white, non-South Southerners who hate us, it becomes more and more dangerous for us here every day. Every time you go somewhere as a family unit with your wife and your children, you're surrounded by people that look nothing like you and have disdain for you.
Crush the left.
Fight back! Fight back! Fight back! Our streets!
Good night, sir. Did you hear that?
White man fight back?
White man fight back. Here's my question. Fight back against who? It was one of your own that did it.
Right.
You understand? White man fight back against the white man? And then you say crush the left. Wasn't Tyler Robinson's family, weren't they of the right? So fight back against who? You know what it is? Y'all want, just like the angry white man in the previous video, y'all want to take this situation and turn it into an excuse to go after so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's really what it is. When you say white man fight back, you're trying to say white man fight back against us. And this is why you are the devil the Bible speaks of, because you will take this situation, which had nothing to do with us, had nothing to do with so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you will use that to target us. Good night, man. These are fanatics. This is a cult right here. This is who the FBI should be profiling and keeping an eyes on. You understand? This is who you need to be keeping an eye on. Let me find that story, sir. Salakia. I'm going to add the 3 officers killed.
I'm about to wrap it up, though, after the story.
Come on, sir. Yeah, we towards the end. I don't want... I mean, whatever we don't cover today, I'm going to cover it on Lord Live. I go and go live on Monday.
How many more stories you got?
I had 2 stories right here, but I'm gonna go over these on Monday with the brother that got unalived, the brother that was skateboarding got hit by the LAPD, and then the story of the brother that got arrested by ICE after he got beat up and robbed, right, and was in the hospital. So this is the last one right here, right? And then I'm gonna pull up some statistics real quick that I want to share to show. So this is the story that they asked about earlier that I think definitely needs to be shared. This is how dangerous. This is why y'all should be profiling the suppressor. This from PBS News. Suspect in killing of Pennsylvania officers was a 24-year-old being sought on stalking charges. A suspected stalker armed with a rifle hid at his ex-girlfriend's home in the rolling farm of southern Pennsylvania and ambushed police officers who came to arrest him, killing 3 of them, a prosecutor said Thursday. Police arriving at the scene at about 2:10 p.m. Wednesday noticed the door to the home was unlocked, even though the ex-girlfriend and her mother had locked it before, leaving the property for their safety. They opened the door and were immediately fired upon by the suspect, 24-year-old Matthew James Roof, who was carrying the AR-style rifle with a suppressor, York County's District Attorney Tim Baker said. He said the suspect fired multiple rounds at the 4 officers at the door, killing 3 of them. A gunfight that ensued between Roof and the 2 officers outside. Roof wounded a sheriff's deputy before police shot the gunman to death, Barker said. Detective Sergeant Cody Becker, Detective Mark Baker, and Detective Isaiah Emenheiser were officers who were killed, he said. They all worked for the Northern York County Regional Police Department. Each of these men represented the best of policing. They served with professionalism, dedication, and courage. They were leaders within our agency, right? They're just bigging them up.
Right.
How the shooting unfolded. The violence erupted Wednesday afternoon as officers sought Roof, who they believed had been at the property the night before. A woman had briefly dated. He had briefly dated, lived there. Her mother called police late Tuesday after she spotted a man wearing camouflage looking into the home with binoculars. Why didn't y'all not profile this man? You think something isn't off there when you see a man in camouflage gear looking into the house? Y'all didn't go ready and tactical. Y'all come after us in tactical gear. Y'all unalived Silverio Villegas Gonzalez because y'all thought he was trying to drag y'all away when he was trying to get away from y'all. This cat, right? Y'all didn't profile him, and 3 of your officers were unalived. Y'all didn't go in with SWAT, or I don't know how y'all went to go arrest this man, but y'all didn't go. Let him been, anything other than white, and y'all would have went with the whole SWAT team. Let it have been a suspected trap house. How would y'all have approached the situation? Right, sir? How they come after us?
Right.
On tactical gear. That's what's crazy, man. I'm profiling the wrong people, man. Let's see. 7 minutes. Still like, yeah, we're about to wrap it up. I don't want.
No, you good? You good?
It's 5:15 this morning. 3 police officers are dead and 2 more injured after a shooting in Pennsylvania. We're also learning that the suspect is also dead, according to police there. Amy Kiley has more details on how this tragedy unfolded.
This kind of violence isn't okay.
3 officers are dead and 2 are gravely wounded after a shooting in central Pennsylvania yesterday. Officials say the injured are York County sheriffs.
Central Pennsylvania, that's got to be like one of the widest parts of the United States, man. You understand? Central Pennsylvania, the Midwest, all those areas, man. Rural America is like the widest part of America.
In the east were Northern York regional officers.
This is an absolutely tragic and devastating day for York County and for the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Sources say the officers were trying to arrest the suspect and serve a restraining order involving his ex-girlfriend.
This involves stalking repeatedly, criminal acts to cause fear, loitering, and prowling.
So he was stalking his ex. He was, intimidating her, putting threats out of one. Like, look at this, how dangerous these oppressors are, man. You know what I mean? They're violent.
Right.
Look, they can't handle rejection, so they got to turn to violence.
That's their nature.
At
night, criminal
Prowling
trespass,
at night.
Simple trespass.
Officials say the shooter was wearing camouflage and waiting in a cornfield when officers arrived.
When I got past the barn, I heard gunshots. I just saw a lot of chaos and saw some bodies.
Officials say the suspect is dead after law enforcement returned fire. Attorney General Pam Bondi says federal agents are investigating. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says the tragedy is a reminder to appreciate first responders. He's also calling for more efforts to prevent gun violence.
We need to do better when it comes to looking out for those who are.
Here's my thing, sir. Why ain't you calling for stop and frisk on every white male between the ages of the ages of 14 to 30? You understand why aren't you doing stop and frisk on them? You could have saved these officers' lives. You could have saved their lives if you would have just, immediately when you saw this white boy in camouflage gear had, called for backup. If you would have, profiled him as a threat with all the charges on him and his history, if y'all would have went in your SWAT teams and whatnot in full tactical gear ready for war, y'all would have survived. But why didn't that happen? Because y'all don't profile white people the way you profile so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Indeed. So we don't have to deal with tragedies like this.
It also is a reminder, especially with emotionally charged situations, domestic situations, how fast and how violently these things can spin out of control.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Concert. So that right there just shows you the situation, the nature of the problem, sir. The violence. America does have a violence problem, and let me just pull out some statistics, man. This from Captain Zaryak, sir. Also on Monday I'm gonna go over that rap song. Look at this, real quick before we close out. There's no sound. Okay, there's no sound. So look at this. Despite making up only 28% of the USA population, FBI data shows that white men are 55% of kidnappers, 56% of rapists, 58% of mass shooters, 59% of child porn arrests, 62% of statutory pedophiles, 63% of prostitution solicitors, 68% of the 1934 NFA offenders, and 75% of incest perpetrators. But y'all want to push that narrative about black people being only 13% of the population and doing over, I don't know, what's the percentage of the crime you try to say, 50%?
Right.
When y'all 28% and y'all do over 50%. 60%, 75% of the horrible, horrendous crimes.
So I remember they got the most suicides too.
White
males have the highest rate of suicide.
Right, sir. And then look at this. This is the other video that Countess Zara shared. Damn. Where's the sound?
This is the man who shot Charlie Kirk. This is the man who shot Trump. This is the man who killed Melissa Hortman. This is the man who tried to kill John Hoffman. This is the man who tried to kill Paul Pelosi. This is the man who killed an Obama-appointed judge's son. This is the man who hired hitmen to kill Democrats. This is the man who ran over a left-wing activist and killed her. This is the man responsible for the Austin bombing. This is the man who sent pipe bombs to Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton. This is the man who shot Gabby Gifford. This is the man who tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, and this man, and this man, and this man, this man, this man, this man, this man, this man, and this man. This is the man who set Josh Shapiro's house on fire. This is the Oklahoma bomber. This is his accomplice. These are just a few of the men who beat police officers on January 6th. I can think of a few things they have in common, and it's not the way they use their words or their left-wing politics.
See the pattern here? There's only one theme here when it comes to this, and it's the one thing that never gets talked about. We know who the most violent people are in America.
We use words, they use bullets.
This is the man.
Sheesh.
Sir, you understand? And that
I wish Ryan Garcia and Gabriel Iglesias would see that video.
Right. Go see that video, Ryan Garcia and Gabriel Iglesias. Go see that video, Fluffy, and then see if you want to talk about Charlie Kirk again.
Not even them. Your local pastor.
Right, your local pastor.
Or even your religious aunt and religious uncle who get mad at you or get mad at us for saying that the oppressor is the devil.
Right.
About separation.
Right.
And we talking about dealing with our own people. When we talk about our cookouts are only for blacks and Hispanics. You remember they got a problem with that. They have an issue when we say that, and they call us the racist.
Right.
But goddamn, here's the
how's it racist?
It has to be like that because of this video right here.
Sir.
These people are as natural born killers.
Right.
Go ahead.
So, sir, what's that precept? Blood shall pursue thee.
Blood shall pursue thee. Oh man.
What is it? Thou hast pursued blood, so blood shall pursue thee.
Oh, Ezekiel. That should be Ezekiel 35.
Come on, I'm gonna pull that real quick.
And you gotta read down.
Come on, Ezekiel 35. Because that's who this oppressor is, right? He was blessed with the sword. You understand? And that's what we need to realize. We need to realize who our oppressor is. You got to stop looking at him like he's Jesus Christ. That is not Jesus Christ. You don't have to believe that Christ, if you have issue with him, I know y'all take issue with Christ being a so-called black man for y'all that hate us. But he was definitely not a white man. He was not that stringy-haired, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Cesar Borgia. That's what the Bible describes Christ as. And that's the problem. You won't profile white men or white people because of Cesar Borgia. Because you've been taught to view them as gods, to view them as innocent, to view them as non-violent, as the most down-to-earth people on the planet. And I understand y'all want to be kind, right? But why don't you view so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans like that? Why don't you view us like that? Give us the benefit of the doubt. View us as innocent instead of guilty until proven innocent. The stats show. Go ahead.
If I could, are there Hispanics that commit crimes like that commit that murder? Yes, there are. Right, there are Latinos and Hispanics, Mexicans, Central Americans that do those type of things. Cartels, right? Cartels are known for that, for unaliving and the cutting of the arms and fingers and heads and all that. But listen, man, like these cats are on drugs, on drugs and alcohol doing this. These white folks will do this sober. These folks do this out of for pleasure,
right?
And the adrenaline. That's why they do it,
right, sir. So, sir, I got it right here, Ezekiel 35:5, and it says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred." That's why, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in their time of their calamity, and that time that their iniquity had an end. Right, perpetual hatred meaning an everlasting hatred. That's why for how many years, Rasa, how many years so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have y'all tried to win his love and he still hates you? Because it's a perpetual, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. Look at how he's shedding our blood right now. A poor brother got robbed and got injured and was in the hospital, and ICE still came after him.
Mm-hmm.
Our people are suffering, and this oppressor will find a way to come harm us and unalive us. And then, right, in the time that their calamity had an end, right? So, sir, that when it says it had an end, right, that's talking about the Lord saying to stop, or sorry, not the Lord saying to stop, but the limit. They had no limit, right? That's what it's saying. They didn't know when to stop.
Right, they don't know when to stop. Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. They don't know when to stop, and that's what it is. People don't know when to stop.
Right, this oppressor is
going. They keep going and going. We didn't even get no break.
Right. Verse 6, "Therefore as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee." Right? This oppressor loves bloodshed, man. They love, as you saw the video that we just played with Captain Zariak. It's in them. They desire that blood, man. And it shall. Go ahead, sir.
I was gonna finish that off where it says that blood shall pursue them. Yeah,
right.
They like that. They like that blood. They like they unaliving you.
Right.
But the tables are gonna turn on them.
Right.
Where blood is gonna pursue them.
God.
Where they're gonna get unalived. And how is that gonna happen? I know A lot of people might not understand that. That how is America going to be destroyed? How are they going to be unalive, man? You going into the third world war, and that's where this is going to take place.
Right.
That is where your children get unalived, where you feel the pain that we went through, because you gonna go into another country and fight against another country, and they gonna take you out, or you guys gonna take out each other by the millions and thousands. Blood is gonna pursue thee. You spread so much blood. Now it's gonna be your turn. Now your blood is gonna be shed.
It says, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth." So, sir, so that's cutting them off, right? That's the salvation. There's never going to be any salvation. So, for all you Christians out there trying to save this oppressor, just know it's in vain. The Lord said He's going to cut off Mount Seir and leave it most desolate. You understand?
Mount Seir is talking about the Edomites.
Right.
Mount Seir is talking about the Edomites, Edom, America, Russia. Give me some more. Spain,
Germany,
Portugal, England, Germany,
Sicily, Sicily, sir.
Sicily, all those heathen, all those Edomite nations are going to be desolate.
Right.
They're going to be destroyed. And that's hard to see because they're empowered. France is in power. The United Kingdom is in power. America is in power.
Right.
These are nations, strong kingdoms.
Right.
But these kingdoms and these nations are going to be desolate, completely destroyed. France is going to be gone. UK is going to be gone. America is going to be gone. You know, they're going to be another Egypt. You go to Egypt, you see how there's a bunch of dust and, there really ain't nothing much out there. That's going to be America. It's going to be a desert out here. Lord's going to make it desolate. You're going to have to go into a history book to learn about America. How at one point it was great and powerful, and now you got to read about it in a book.
Right, sir.
Because it's going to be gone. Go ahead. It's like that.
Sir. That was it. I don't know if you wanted me to continue or
what else you got?
And it says, "And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword." That was it for Ezekiel. I know, you want to cover more of that.
You want to go to verse 1.
Come on. "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it."
And that's what we do.
Damn right, sir.
That's what we do in the Israelite School UPK. We prophesy against Mount Seir, meaning what? We speaking against it.
Right.
We're telling you something that's going to come to pass. It ain't happening yet, but we're letting you know that it's going to happen. And come on, man, you got to be a fool for you not to see it. Everything that's going on. We how we was talking about it earlier, Civil War. They're talking about a war with Venezuela, a war with Russia, a war with China, Iran, Taiwan, the things with ICE. There's just so many things going on, and you gotta read the room. You gotta put things together. These are the signs of the times, signs of the end.
Right.
In the UPK, we've been teaching about it since 1969, which is that America is going to come to an end and it's going to be destroyed, and Christ is coming back. And we're telling you that you got to get your life together, get your life right, get yourself in order. How do you get yourself in order? How do you get your life right? You come into the Israelite School UPK and you're going to learn how to get it right. Is it going to be easy? No, it ain't going to be easy. Is it going to be hard? More than likely. But you got to, get your foot in the door, and get yourself right. Because now you're going to get caught up with a whole other, you're going to get caught up with the death that's coming to this place.
Right, sir. Damn right.
But go ahead. You want to say something, Malakma? Go ahead.
Nah, the Bible says, right, that woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and then it also says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Y'all believe in a just God, right? Y'all believe in a God that's righteous. So wouldn't it just only be fair for that God to punish a people that were unrighteous? No one's hating the so-called white man because he's blonde-haired and blue-eyed. No one's singling them out just because. We're just showing the hypocrisy. These are the people that will hate a people for the color of their skin. This is a nation that will single out an ethnicity for the actions of a few and demonize them. That's how Trump won his presidency. So it's not racist for us to profile y'all back when y'all profile us. How is that? If it's not racism for y'all to do it to us, why is it racist when we do it to y'all? The stats show it. Right? We don't let y'all in because of the color of your skin. We don't let y'all in because we want to stay safe and be alive.
And right.
We learned the lesson in Charlotte with Dylan Storm Roof. You understand? So that's the take on it, man. That's it for now, sir. Unless there was anything else you wanted to bring out.
That's it, man. That's it. Remember, once again, we got a cookout coming up. We got the West Coast cookout, man.
Damn right.
You in Los Angeles, LA County, Inland Empire. You know, make sure you pull up to this barbecue, man. Black and brown. It's a black and brown cookout.
Damn right.
Only blacks, only Hispanics, only Native Indians. This is strictly for our people. Of course, the West Indians.
Damn right.
You know.
Damn right.
This is our cookout. You Chinese can't be there. If you're a white man, you can't be in there. Arab, East Indian, Nigerian, African can't be there.
Right.
You will be escorted out.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't be at our cookout, man. You can't be. It's our barbecue.
Right.
You know, it's where we help out our people. So,
damn
man,
right.
Make sure you pull up. Make sure you pull up to this barbecue. Like I said, we got people coming out here. Commander Rihanna and General Hyman. You know, we got the generals, you got the captains, brothers coming from all over. Make sure you there. Make sure you show up. And of course, you can reach out if you have any questions about anything we said, questions about the cookout. Man, Malak, I know you have the email on there, right? Email or whatever.
I'll put in the chat.
YouTube. You know, make sure you reach out to us, write to us, you know, and, you know, let us know your questions. We do the show every Saturday, 10 o'clock. You know, make sure you like, subscribe, share the channel, you know, and, you know, hit us up. But go ahead, Malama. I'm going to let you.
Órale, raza. Órale, canales y mujeres. With that, man, we got our channels right there. Like, share, and subscribe. We're on YouTube, Facebook, IG, TikTok, Twitter, X, The Inconvenient Truth 1969. Just type that in. You'll see us, you know, you'll see our pages pop up, man. I also got the email right here. Let me share it. Right, The Inconvenient Truth 1969. You know, go ahead and contact us. You know, if you got any questions or comments, let it, you know, I always drop with your opinions in the chat, and, you know, we'll address it. We'll answer your questions. Well, we like to interact with our guests, you know what I mean? Our audience, you know, make the show interactive, right? This is a podcast. This is where we come have the conversations, man. So just stay tuned, Raza. We'll be back at it again. Lord allow, I'll be live Monday. We're going to go over some more things, some more topics. And with that, man, órale, Raza.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Batallar con mi espada en mi mano. A la guerra nosotros marchamos, nuestra muerte no será en vano. Bien valientes con nuestros mantos, aquí nuestro general Yahana nos ordena que le echemos ganas. No corremos con ningún chavala, nuestro chaleco es contra balas. Si quieres, juégate la suerte, todo vato aquí es fuerte. Y en la escuela israelita no corremos con edomitas. Mi espada tu vida te quita. Puede ser que tal vez ahorita por tu vida tú me suplicas de rodilla como señorita. Desde Texas hasta Califas, destruyendo edomitas. Aquí estamos siempre al tiro, mirando tu último suspiro. Y esto es para que aprendas, en el mundo no hay leyendas, solo encontrarás la muerte. Juégate tu pinche suerte.